Alright, so let's talk really quick about modding our remote control toys and ideas. I filmed this already as a short almost, but it just didn't. This glue's wet, so I'm trying to get it to stick. I've got it glued very lightly in case I don't like it. I want to be able to pop it off. But these little keychain looking, well, they are keychains. That that's how you handle them. Anyway, Victor gave these out at the last Bar Citizen. I like them a lot. Actually, it gave me a pretty good idea. I'll go over that in a second. But I decided to give my Kraken its own like little shadow kind of thing. I guess I don't know. I'm also building a ramp. I could talk about that too real quick because it's got pluses, but I had to modify it so that the track, when you go into it, I glued these. I clicked that off. You know those things you put in the power outlets in the U.S. anyway. I know power outlets are different in the U.K., but they have these little things you can put in as a safety feature so kids don't mess around or whatever. And I just clipped off the teeth of those, and I had to make it so when the vehicle. Oh, see, that's already too loose. I'm gonna have to redesign that. When the vehicle passes through here, it'll clip that edge, and that can be a problem. This is for a monster truck ramp, right? And it had a little thing there too. I can show you on the box. See that little thing sticking out right there? I cut that off and glued, and trying to make it usable for both trucks and RC cars. This is going to be a jump, is all. It has this little thing on it that you're supposed to push up, but I don't like that. I'm gonna maybe think of something to use. Anyway, so let's go back to this. I have to let that dry straight, because if it's not straight, see, I gotta line this crap up or my mind will just destroy me. At any rate, so what I want to do, my next goal, oh yeah, the magnets. Jaybird, you mentioned magnets. That's a really good idea. I actually just took another piece of the scrap off of the truck that I cut apart to make this, and the shell, kind of like that, except this was plastic, that's metal. I'm gonna have to think of something different with the metal ones, but I'm thinking. At any rate, so I've got ideas for these too. We're gonna have some fun with them. I'm gonna make some pretty cool videos. But at any rate, the magnet idea is pretty good. I think I'm going to experiment with that. The clip works pretty well. It doesn't hold it perfectly straight unless you fiddle with it, and I don't really like that. But again, this isn't really going to be a consumer grade product. This is just a Joshi grade product, or a Summer Yeti grade product, whatever you want to say. Again, I say Joshi because my grandma called me Joshi. Obviously, it gives away my real name, but I don't care. We're all friends here, and even if we're not, you can still know my grandma called me Joshi. My real name's like Fred or George or something. So anyway, next idea, and again, that's really good. I'm gonna do some more of these. I think every one of these grave diggers that I tear up, I'm going to make sure I don't like to throw too much away. So I'm gonna make sure I do something similar. These keychains, I've got to talk to Victoria. And Vic, if you see this, let's chat, because I would like to get a bunch of these, if you've still got them. What I want to do is I want to take one of these frames, right? It might be a small one, bigger one. If I can get my hands on some of the bigger ship models, then perhaps it'll be a little bit more expansive. But I want to make, okay, so I want to do one of these. Verity, she streams YouTube and some other stuff. She's pretty cool. Actually, I was watching Jared Huckabee, Disco Lando. He did D&D on Twitch. I haven't seen it in a while, but again, I haven't really been paying much attention to that lately, the Twitch stuff. At any rate, Verity was playing one of his games one day, and I came across her there. She's pretty cool. Realized she had a channel, and she does Star Citizen streaming. Ah, crap. See, I bumped it. I've got it glued so lightly. Anyway, I was watching her yesterday, and in her chat, I was like, so What do you think? Should I do a Javelin, Idris, and then I was like, well, what about a Kingship? So what I want to do is I want to do a Kingship, if possible, if I can get the model. Even if it's an older one, older version, I don't care. If it looks like a Kingship, it'll be a Kingship. Anyway, so that was the unanimous decision, and believe me, it was pretty unanimous. Oh, Kingship! Oh my God! So what I also want to do to accompany the Kingship is a fleet. So even if I don't get the battleships, what I want to do, what I'm thinking, getting to the point, is a bunch of these little ones just sort of like sticking off, like have the base just painted solid black, the actual vehicle part of it, like a black square or something, and off from it, just visualize, posts or something somewhat durable coming out to various lengths and various angles that are ship formations, fighter ships, maybe even throw in a couple capital ships. So it just looks like a cloud of ships rolling around on the ground, as opposed to, like a cyclone or a simulated flying Kraken. I don't know. I think that was a pretty good idea. So I'm going to have to try to get maybe about that size is pretty good. Let's see. I have a Bic lighter right here just to show you guys the size comparison. If anybody has any question about the size of all this stuff, there's a Bic lighter. Regular ass Bic lighter. So that gives you an idea of the size of all this. I'll put the Bic right on the Kraken. So that is the Kraken. If it sits, it fits. So a Kraken can fit on the deck of the Drake Kraken. Did I say the Kraken can fit on a Kraken can fit there, sure, but also a Bic lighter. I don't know. It's a day. It's a day today, so my English don't sow grapes. So just keep that in mind. My English don't sow grapes today. It's not gonna stick. I'm gonna have to redo that. It doesn't matter. What it's sitting on is I had a structural support thing that's actually a paintbrush handle. You'll notice that's got the end missing. Well, the end is right there, that purple one. I may or may not paint it. I kind of like having that little splash of color down there. I don't know if I'm going to keep this on, but I'm just sort of testing it, kind of like as a shadow, almost. Nice red shadow. Oh, man, I'm crazy. So, yeah, we're at 7.5 minutes. There's more I wanted to talk about. I'm going to be doing some fun stuff. I've got some kind of like games and events planned for these. I don't only really need the one, but I'd like to have a couple more done, in case like something breaks or, somebody comes over and wants to compete. Because, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to do it right here on the floor, I think, because my little chaos room is a little bit full. I like that guy. Isn't he cool? Yeah. I'm really, really just enjoying this quite a bit. But there you go. I need to, just to give you ideas, make a little fleets of fighters with at least one of these ships or trucks or whatever. Maybe more than just one. I don't know. It's fun. This imagination thing is very I don't know, engaging. But yeah, okay, so I'm trying to think of something else to say. I know there's more I wanted to talk about, but I gotta talk to Victura, see if he's got any more of those that he wants to part with. I gotta find a way to produce another Kraken, a couple more Krakens, maybe Javelins, Kingships, Idrises, just as simple 3D models, just as something to glue to these, because I'm addicted to doing this now. This is quite fun. It's Star Citizen Crafting version 0.0RL. So enjoy, and if you got questions, ask them,